Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janet Crowell, and I am Vice President of the John Knox Village Resident Council, and I am pinch hitting for Fran today, who is our President. Last Friday, July 30th, at our regular Resident Council Executive Committee meeting, we discussed the COVID virus and the changes being made here on campus and in the surrounding community. We were told that masks would be required in all JKV buildings beginning today, August 2nd. We've had good attendance at our meetings, and so we were concerned that sitting in a large group might not be the best idea. After much discussion, the committee voted to cancel the in-person meeting. We are fortunate to have Steve Clark and others videotaping our meetings. We felt this was a good option for presenting committee reports and other information. Our meeting today will follow the usual agenda, beginning with updates from Maria Timberlake. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Dan Rexroth, our president, is on PTO today, so I'm happy to fill in. Thank you, Janet, for your comments. And I want to share some exciting news with you today. I got the mail this morning, and in it was Ingram's Magazine, Best of Business. And this is a business publication that's sent out to leaders all across the Kansas City area. And every year they vote on, the best barbecue, the best place to take guests, the best arena, the best theater, the best caterer, all those kinds of business services. And sure enough, under the best retirement center is John Knox Village winning the gold award. So yay, John Knox Village. So I thought I'd read it to you because it's just really quick. It says, since its inception in 1970, John Knox Village has become the standard for senior living options in the Kansas City market and a model for that sector nationwide. With the full range of accommodations, including independent living, assisted living, and nursing home care, the sprawling complex in Lee Summit has something for everyone of retirement age and garners the gold. So with the Olympics going on, I thought, hey, JKV wins gold. I love it. So we all know that there may be some things we need to improve upon, but that's the beauty of management working with the resident council, because together we can make sure that your needs and wishes and interests are known, and we can incorporate that in our business planning and our day-to-day decision making. So I love that we're a great community. I love that we're getting the recognition for something we know and live out every day. So that was what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you.
And now we will hear from our committee chairs, and first will be Finance, Joe Chase.
Kim Clockengay gave his June financial presentation to the Finance Committee in the Missouri Room on July 28, 2021. In June, there were 15 sales, which is 6 favorable to budget. On a year-to-date basis, sales are 12 over budget. There were 8 move-ins in June, 3 under budget. This is partially a matter of timing with a pending number of 27. Entrance fee proceeds are 67% of the annual goal. Occupancy is still struggling. Total occupancy in independent living decreased again in June. Occupancy in the Village Care Center is 154, 23 under budget, and is influenced by staffing issues. The VLA 400 assisted living is favorable to budget, and recent reports are that it is now full. The other assisted living units, including memory care are 97, under budget by 16. Home health admissions are down, but revenue is up, consistent with previous months' new admissions. Hospice year-to-date census is now favorable to budget, as is revenue. During June, expenses exceeded revenue by $36,000. Year-to-date revenue is positive by $15,000, which is under budget. Year-to-date investment activity is still strong, exceeding budget. At the end of the first quarter, all business units are favorable to budget except for the Care Center and EMS. The number of runs for EMS continues strong, but the outsourcing and billing services procedures resulted in a one-time adjustment which impacted the June numbers. Days of cash on hand are 255, which is an increase due to accounting of the PPP loan. Debt service coverage ratio is favorable to budget at 1.4. Net operating margin remains under budget at 0.1%. Under updates, Villas Phase 7, 4 of the 7 units are sold. Meadows Phase 2 has 21 pre-sales. There were some cancellations in June and 1 new deposit. They are still on track to open as planned. Assisted living renovations in the common areas are almost complete. Study of wages continues, and the wage contingency dollars in the budget has been utilized to adjust some categories. Staffing remains a significant challenge, and vacancies in staff drive agency usage, which impacts expenses. With the arrival of more international nurses, the largest agency usage is now CNAs, which is one of the areas where wage adjustments have been made. The next meeting will be held in the Missouri Room on August 25th.
The Health Services Committee met on July 14th in the Administrative Boardroom. Our speaker was Ketty Dawson, Administrator of Village Hospice Care. She is also currently Vice President and will be President next year of the Missouri Administrators of Hospice and Palliative Care Advocacy Group. This grassroots group meets with legislators to advocate and educate them about hospice. Village hospice professionals maximize comfort by managing physical pain and by addressing psychological, social, and spiritual pain. It operates in 8 Missouri counties and provides a higher level of services not always available elsewhere, such as caring for people in their homes, at nursing facilities, at Village House, and at some area hospitals. They also provide respite care for family caregivers. To create a personalized plan for care, a hospice nurse works with the patient and their family. The staff includes social workers, music therapists, chaplains, bereavement professionals, and even offers friendly pet visits. There are always opportunities for hospice volunteers. Their current census is 37 due to COVID, but can be up to 47. Village hospice services and supplies are covered by Medicare, Medicaid, and most private insurance companies. Anthony Colombato, Vice President of Health and Community Services, reported that Tiffany Speaks, Administrator of Village Home Health, has successfully renegotiated the managed care contracts and often consults with physicians. John Knox Village Home Health is unique as they specialize in treating seniors only. Anthony also reported that the village has hired a dietitian. She will report to Todd Hollander, head of dining services. At this time, she is working with the care center and assisted living, but the goal is to be available for independent living as well. Interviews for a permanent administrator of assisted living are going well, and I understand that they have hired an administrator, but they haven't told us yet who it is. Plans for greater integration of all village healthcare areas are still being considered. There are now 20 international nurses, although staffing remains a challenge. Our next meeting is August 11th in the Administrative Boardroom.
I'm Dick Erickson, Chair of the Resident Council Nominating Committee. We will start looking for a candidate for the John Knox Village Board of Directors. Jim Ham, the current member's term will expire next year.
Good afternoon. I'm Carol Jennings, and I am chairman of the Resident Services Committee. The Resident Services Committee met on July 12 at 9:30 in the Administrative Boardroom. The guest speakers were Melissa Side and Lisa Smith, area managers. They spoke about the role of the 3 area managers, including Teddy Crawford, who could not attend the meeting. Their duties include providing new residents with assistance as they move into JKV, answering questions, providing support to families as needed, providing up-to-date materials such as dial-a-ride schedules and grocery bus schedules. They plan town hall meetings for their district every Thursday of every month. They speak to neighborhood organizations and other groups and are resident advocates. They help set up the 8-year renovation or redecoration of resident units. Area managers are involved in campus development. They help with employee retention efforts. They lead weekly resident care committee meetings with managers of each department to discuss the concerns regarding specific residents who may need additional or different care. They enforce policies and procedures, and they show pride, personal responsibility in delivering excellence. Maria Timberlake reported there are many associate openings in all areas. There were 3 new positive COVID-19 cases, causing closing of the outside visitors of the care center. And we know now that things have changed. There are more nurses from the Philippines have arrived, and the biggest JKV challenge right now is labor. There being no further business, the meeting was adjourned. The next meeting is scheduled for August 9 at 9:30 in the Administration Boardroom. Thank you.
I'm David Young, Vice Chair of the Sales, Marketing, and Communications Committee. This committee met on July 15th in the Manhattan Room. Anna Margaret McGuire, Chair, called the meeting to order at 9:30. There were 13 members present. Also present was Karen Burek-Batchman, Marketing and Communications Manager, and Steve Clark, Senior Graph Designer. There were also 3 visitors. Minutes of the June meeting were approved. Karen stated that much has changed and shifted a lot this past year regarding advertising, especially the making of commercials. It used to take 20 to 30 people from the advertising company to produce a JKV commercial. During COVID, that couldn't happen. Steve Clark, Our JKV senior graphic designer was recruited to film commercials in-house. Steve demonstrated the new equipment, cameras, and lighting accessories he acquired to film commercials. He explained how much prior planning and setup are before filming can begin. The editing is very time-consuming, can take as much as 3 days to result in 30 seconds of finished commercial. In addition to commercials, Steve filmed numerous virtual visits of apartments and villa homes, interviews with residents for the virtual open house, and behind-the-scenes activities here on campus. The latest piece of equipment acquired is a drone. It will be used to follow progress of construction projects and can be used by security to search for a resident should one go missing. Many of the filmed events and happenings on campus have been posted to a YouTube channel. Steve urged committee members to subscribe and like the segments as this becomes an advertising moment. It was also noted that there have been disruptions on the local JKV TV channel with picture and sound. Steve explained the system used is outdated technology and the department is looking at other options. Karen stated that a communication survey will soon be available. Mid-July, there will be a referral event, no seminar, just something fun. A dinner is also planned for prospects that will be entertaining, but not stuffy. The June report indicated a very good month with gross deposits well over the goal, 14 versus the goal of 10. Meadows 2 deposits were 21 versus the goal of 26. Move-in projections as of June 30 are on goal for lease, with the rest of the campus slowing down a little. At the end of June, there were 7 vacates and 8 move-ins for a total of 815 paying units campus-wide. Our next meeting will be on August 19th at 9:30 in the Manhattan Room. With no further business, meeting was adjourned. Respectfully submitted, Carol Jennings, Secretary.
Thank you to each of the chairs and for your time and energy that you give to our committees here at JKV. And now we have 2 speakers, Kelli Snell, Director of Life Enrichment, and D J Breitbach, Coordinator of Volunteer Services at the Care Center. And they will tell us about volunteering here at JKV. Please welcome them.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. Angie's out there, so thank you, Fran. I'm glad to be here today. I get to talk about one of my favorite subjects at John Knox Village. I oversee a lot of different programs, but volunteering is my favorite, and I think that's because I see what it does for our community. I see what it does for the people that are receiving volunteer talents and time, and then I also see what it does for the volunteers. They feel needed, they feel wanted, they feel like they're making a difference, and so I really love this program. Let's see if I can see. Do you want to do this, DJ? Do you want to do a click in? So I'm going to start with the Volunteer Services mission statement. You can click. Just this side. Right there. Here we go. The mission of the Volunteer Services Department is to deliver pride through volunteer opportunities in which individuals may contribute and utilize their talents, grow with new experiences, and achieve a sense of satisfaction, pride, and self-worth, which will result in supportive services to village residents, staff, and the greater community. Our program also has some values that we'd like to talk about. One is to provide the highest quality of service, to promote pride, to provide open and honest communication, to demonstrate complete respect for the rights of every individual, to perform every day in a responsible and efficient manner, to expect, support, and recognize excellence and professionalism, to promote and support intergenerational activities, and to support and promote diversity. I think this is one of the questions I get the most about our volunteer program is who is a John Knox Village volunteer? And I know because we're in such a wonderful community that supports each other, you're always doing things for other residents. So when we talk about the volunteer program that's for John Knox Village, we talk about something that is more formal. It is asked to be done by the organization. So if you take your neighbor on errands, I love that we do that in our community, but that's not something we count as part of the John Knox Village volunteer program. So hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can ask. So why volunteer? Well, 1, you want to do something nice for someone else. 2, you're investing in your community. Whatever you're doing, you're giving back to John Knox Village because it feels so good to volunteer. I passed out a sheet to you that are in the audience, and it lists all our different volunteer coordinators. Looks kind of tiny on the screen, but that gives you a list of the coordinators anywhere you want to volunteer on the campus. There's their email and their phone. You're welcome to call them directly if you decide you want to volunteer in one of those areas. So where do we have volunteer opportunities? We have them on campus and we have off-campus opportunities. I'm not going to read all of those, but there are a whole bunch of on-campus and independent living. You can see we have committees, we have activities, we have the farmers market, we have the fitness center. It goes on and on. The next page will show more. What you see isn't on this list and you think, gosh, I have the talent or time, I want to share something, we're always open to new ideas. Then we'll go to assisted living, and you'll see that they have a lot of different opportunities too. You can read and visit with residents, you can have your pets come visit, you can help with art projects. They have a variety of things as well. Then in the Care Center, there are quite a number of activities, and I think this is where we see most of our volunteers is they're in there doing bingo, ceramics, playing games, salon escorts, medical escorts, keep going, help in the dining room, sharing their talents, pet visits. So, this is really a rewarding place to volunteer. And the next place that you volunteer is hospice. And it takes a really special person to volunteer, but I've seen some wonderful experiences and stories come out of hospice volunteers and the time they spent with patients. So lots of different opportunities in there. There's the 11th hour vigil. There's sharing art and music. There's writing and recording life stories. Keep going, another page. So then we want to talk about off-campus activities, and I know most of you have been involved in these. We've been doing them for years. Shikardi and Bacon, which is a law firm in Kansas City, has us come in for mock trials, so you get to sit on the jury and actually go through the trial. You like that one, Joe? Lee Summit Partners in Education, they are picking up speed, and you'll be seeing a lot about this fall. They've combined their Partners in Education program with their career program, so they're going to be really in our businesses, and we're going to see a lot more of them, and I hope you'll get involved in that. UMKC Mentoring Program, it's the doctoral program at UMKC. They have a 6-year program, and they want the students to experience life with seniors and what kind of the needs are, and so they come out and spend time with the residents. UCM VIP program out of Warrensburg, and they do what's called the VIP program, and they write the article or the story for the resident. First year this year, the stories were unbelievable, and the relationships that developed are fantastic. Toys for Lee Summit Social Services. How can we not know about that on our campus? The Hobby Hut puts together toys. They make beds for it. They paint it special, and then they go to kids through Lee Summit for Christmas and other holidays. Wonderful program. And then often we get calls for research opportunities or focus groups. You guys are a good group for people to pick your brain, so that comes out often. Okay, so what does it take to become a volunteer at John Knox? We start out with an application, and you fill it out. Everybody who volunteers at John Knox is put in a database with all that information. Then we're going to make sure you get some training, and that's really important to John Knox. We want a professional volunteer program. So you're going to do training with me, just general training about the village. Then you might do specific training for the department you're volunteering for. And then we are now just added this year infectious disease training in the VCC, which DJ gets that all organized. So talking about washing hands and handling medical products, that kind of thing. We also, one of the reasons we do volunteer training, and the most important, is we're required to do it for training on HIPAA. Just as our employees, it's federally mandated that we teach you about HIPAA, and you will learn to understand the HIPAA rules and regulations and understand your responsibilities as a volunteer under HIPAA. So there's a whole series on that. We ask you to go through the employment disqualification list. That's the same thing we do with our employees. And it weeds out all the bad volunteers out there, which I can't say I've had one in 17 years, but it does make sure that you are in their homes volunteering, that we've got good quality volunteers. If you volunteer in the care center or assisted living more than 10 hours a week, you have to do TB testing. We have very few that do that, but we do have some. Volunteers are required to abide by all state and facility-specific regulations. That went on there? I did? Back her up. Did I do previous? Oh, there you go. Okay, recording volunteer hours. Everybody says, I love volunteering. I don't need any special attention. Don't need to record my hours. We hear it over and over again. But the village uses that number when they turn in our not-for-profit status applications, so that we actually turn in all the hours that are volunteered back into our community to the IRS. So you're not really doing it for yourself and to get recognition. You're doing it for the organization. So make sure you do that. I will take them any way you want to turn them in. You can put them on a piece of paper. You can email me. You can call me. We have an official form that you can pick up outside my office. Any way you want to get them to me, I will take them. People ask how often they should turn them in. I think, once a month is the easy way to do it. But if you volunteer a lot, you may need to turn them in more frequently. And then I want to tell you about National Volunteer Week. Who has been to that, our celebration? It's in the pavilion. It's a wonderful celebration. We have a wonderful meal together and neat entertainment and some giveaways. And that happens during National Volunteer Week in April. So that's the way we thank our volunteers and come together and celebrate all that we've done for our community. So that is volunteering in a nutshell at John Knox. Any questions? No questions. Okay, well, thank you.
So thank you for your patience. If we don't have anything else to discuss or bring up, our meeting is adjourned. And our next meeting will be Monday, September 13th. And stay tuned as to where and what time and when. Thank you.